Hello everyone, I'm MVL and welcome to my video game pickups for February 2019. As per usual, gameplay footage included for every game on this list. And first up we have James Pond 2, codename RoboCod. This is a side-scrolling platformer. Pond's nemesis, Dr. Maybe, has escaped from the North Pole. Your mission is to infiltrate Santa's workshop and rescue the captured penguins. You begin the game outside of Santa's toy factory, where you enter the levels via doors. There are no weapons, so you must jump around the levels and onto enemies and bosses to defeat them. Pond's body is armoured, allowing him to withstand a good amount of hits, and there are power-ups and extra lives to be found and collected along the way. Funnily enough, the in-game penguins are actually product placement for Penguin chocolate bars. At the time, with this game's help, Penguin bars outsold their rival Kit Kats for the first time. He's mean, he's green, he's part machine. That's James Pond 2, codename RoboCod for the Sega Mega Drive. And next up we have Colony Wars for the PlayStation 1. This is a first-person space shooter. I previously picked up a sequel, Colony Wars Red Sun, and that was good, which attracted me to this game. Like the sequel, you can enjoy a well-polished game of space shooting action and a cinematic dive into a future filled with space combat. You pilot numerous spaceships throughout the game, and your starfighter is equipped with an arsenal of energy weapons, missiles or torpedoes, and even EMPs. Completing or failing a mission will affect the overall story, and there are multiple endings depending on how you progress through the game. That's Colony Wars on the PlayStation 1. Next up we have Die Hard Trilogy 2, Viva Las Vegas for the PlayStation 1. This is a great collection of games. I'm very fond of the previous Die Hard Trilogy on PS1. I consider it to be a hidden gem, so I was very excited to discover it had a sequel, and like the previous game, it features a trilogy of game types, including a sharpshooting light gun game, an extreme pedal-to-the-metal driving game, and a third-person action-adventure mode, which is what you are seeing right now. The odds are against John McClane as he battles terrorists intent on wiping Sin City from the map. Blast your way through 25 levels of non-stop action in 3 different game styles. Combine all 3 explosive games into an original adventure, or choose to play the one you like best. Yippee-ki-yay, John McClane is back. That's Die Hard Trilogy 2, Viva Las Vegas on the PlayStation 1. And next up we have Pitfall 3D Beyond the Jungle for the PlayStation 1. This is an action platformer and a new 3D take on a classic Atari game. You play as an Indiana Jones-like character voiced by Bruce Campbell. Pitfall Harry explored the most treacherous jungles in the world, but he never imagined what awaited him beyond the jungle. While exploring the caverns of South America, Harry fell into a dimensional rift that transported him to a world of unearthly dangers. This mysterious land has been decimated by an evil temptress. Now her target is Earth, and it's up to Pitfall Harry to defeat her army of sinister creatures to save it. The game boasts next-generation adventure and incredible game mechanics, allowing you to swing on vines, jump over pits, and avoid killer scorpions. That's Pitfall 3D Beyond the Jungle on the PlayStation 1. And next up we have Freakout for the PlayStation 2. This game is also known as Stretch Panic overseas, and this is definitely a unique game. I'm not entirely sure how to properly describe the gameplay you are seeing right now. This is the first game area I entered, and well, you can see for yourself. The story is that Linda has been sucked into a twisted demon realm. Using a demon scarf, she aims to rescue her 12 sisters who have been possessed by vanity demons. Linda's scarf can grab onto the environment and stretch it as if it was elastic. You can grab enemies, and once you release your grip, the snapback will damage them, and you can grab the floor to throw yourself, launching you to great heights. The game boasts a flexible 3D world engine, outstanding visual presentation, and masses of objects to explore and deform, along with hilarious characters and 12 impressive boss enemies. That's Freakout on the PlayStation 2. And next up we have D.N.A. Dark Native Apostle for the PlayStation 2. This is an action-adventure game. Set in a futuristic world of human genetic modification, you are known simply as B-13. As you regain consciousness from a mysterious explosion, your only memory is a hazy recollection of brutal tests and body-warping experiments. It's not long before you're being pursued by security forces and mutant creatures alike. The game features beat-em-up action as well as bomb blasting, tank busting, flamethrowers, and mutant alligators. It's a perfect blend of puzzle solving and all-out action. The game boasts manga-style cel-shaded graphics, and the official PlayStation 2 magazine says it's a hugely playable isometric 3D blaster. That's D.N.A. Dark Native Apostle for the PlayStation 2. And next up we have Batman: Rise of Sinzu for the original Xbox. This is a beat-em-up game. The cunning master of strategy and martial arts Sin Tzu is an enemy unlike any Batman has ever faced. Batman calls upon his allies Robin, Nightwing and Batgirl to stem the tide of the new rising evil. The game lets you play as the Caped Crusader himself or one of his sidekicks and fight a bunch of enemies from the Batman universe. And the game also features 2-player cooperative gameplay and 5 gameplay modes available. The game is based upon the Batman animated series, which you can see in the visual style and in the opening sequence where it plays the series' iconic music. I'm a big fan of beat-em-up games and Batman, so this is a perfect combination. A new evil rises, that's Batman: Rise of Sin Tzu on the original Xbox. And next up we have Project 02 Crimson Butterfly Director's Cut for the original Xbox. This game series is known as Fatal Frame overseas. I previously picked up this game on PS2 and I love it, but this is the director's cut and it's visually enhanced on the original Xbox, making it the definitive port of this game. And this game looks great. Right away I was noticing additional content for this version, adding extra scares to an already truly unnerving experience. And this game is terribly terrifying. The Special Director's Cut Edition features a brand new first-person mode, a new survival mode, enhanced graphics and sound, plus an array of newly added features to the unique camera weapon, making it the most chilling game to date in the series. IGN.com says, 3 words horror fans, 3 words, scary as hell. And OXM says, prepare for a new nightmare. That's Project 02 Crimson Butterfly Director's Cut on the original Xbox. And next up we have Alan Wake for the Xbox 360. This is a psychological action thriller. When the wife of best-selling writer Alan Wake disappears on their vacation, his search turns up pages from a thriller he doesn't even remember writing. A dark presence stalks the small town of Bright Falls, pushing Wake to the brink of sanity in his fight to unravel the mystery and save the woman he loves. Part action game, part psychological thriller, Alan Wake is a pulse-pounding thrill ride. The game feels right out of the pages of a Stephen King book and features intense cinematic action and gripping suspense. The game describes itself like a tightly paced thriller TV series with storytelling at its best, filled with endless twists, cliffhangers, and building up to an epic conclusion. In this game, light is your weapon. It's your greatest ally from the dangers of the dark around you, as darkness takes over everything and everyone and turns them against you. In darkness, fight with light. That's Alan Wake for the Xbox 360. Next up we have Bully Scholarship Edition for the Xbox 360. This is an open-world action-adventure game. I previously picked up this game on PS2 and this edition takes it to the next level. It features enhanced graphics and enhanced gameplay. The game takes place at the fictional New England boarding school Bulworth Academy and tells the story of a mischievous 15-year-old Jimmy Hopkins as he goes through the hilarity and awkwardness of adolescence. Beat the jocks at dodgeball, play pranks on the preppies, save the nerds, kiss the girl, and ultimately navigate the social hierarchy in the worst school around. The new features include 8 new missions, 4 new classes, 4 new characters, 2-player minigames, and new rewards and achievements. Games Master says Bully's a funny, innovative, and brilliantly atmospheric school-based romp. That's Bully Scholarship Edition on the Xbox 360. Next up we have Game of Thrones for the Xbox 360. This is an action role-playing game. The game is based on the book A Song of Fire and Ice and also partly on the HBO TV series. Experience an amazing adventure in one of the most fascinating universes in medieval fantasy literature. Game of Thrones puts you at the core of a thrilling plot where your fate will be guided by vengeance, allegiance, and honor. You can play as 2 different heroes as you venture into the heart of mythical locations from Westeros and develop your character, learning powerful skills and participate in tactical and spectacular battles. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. That's Game of Thrones on the Xbox 360. Next up, it's Golden Axe Beast Rider for the Xbox 360. This is an action-adventure hack-and-slash game, and the first 3D and mature entry into the Golden Axe series, and whilst my preference will always be the side-scrolling 2D games, this is not a bad game at all. In fact, it's pretty fun. You combat enemies on foot or atop a gigantic beastly mount, of which there is a devastatingly wide variety, and you can dodge or block your enemies' incoming attacks, striking back with your own powerful maneuvers. The game allows you to unleash barbaric killing moves and magical attacks, dealing death from atop brutal and savage beasts, and explore and survive a huge and ravaged world, even encountering familiar friends and foes from the original Golden Axe game. This is Beauty and the Beasts. That's Golden Axe Beast Rider on the Xbox 360. Next up we have Halo 4 for the Xbox 360. This is a first-person shooter, and although I already had this game as part of the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, I didn't previously own this standalone original copy. Funnily enough, the game actually prompted me to upgrade to the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One when first played. Shipwrecked on a mysterious world, the Master Chief returns to battle new enemies, deadly technology, and an ancient evil bent on vengeance and annihilation. The universe will never be the same. The game features wargames for ferociously cooperative player versus player action and includes Spartan Ops, an episodic storyline that delivers ongoing co-op or solo missions and surprises that build upon the Halo 4 campaign. The game is described as the most anticipated game of 2012 and the winner of over 30 industry awards. The Reclaimer saga begins. That's Halo 4 on the Xbox 360. Next up we have Portal 2 for the Xbox 360. This is a puzzle-solving adventure and includes a free download of Portal 2 peer review and additional story co-op mode. The highly anticipated sequel to 2007's Game of the Year, Portal 2 delivers a hilariously mind-bending adventure, including single-player and cooperative game modes, each with its own story, environments, and characters. And Portal 2's unique gameplay challenges you to use your wits over weaponry in a fun house of diabolical science. Game Informer magazine says it's intelligent, innovative, and massively entertaining, and the game was awarded the Classics Bestseller Award and winner of the Golden Joystick Award. Start thinking with Portals. That's Portal 2 for the Xbox 360. Next up we have Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 for the Xbox 360. This is an action platforming game. You play as a clone of Darth Vader's apprentice, betrayed by Darth Vader for the last time. Starkiller has escaped and faces a new journey to find his true identity, and you can enjoy unleashing your fury in dual-wielding lightsaber combat with a dazzling variety of battle actions to slice, dice, electrocute, and crush your enemies. You can use the Force to manipulate the environment, throwing around huge objects like TIE fighters or force-pushing stormtroopers off great heights or into deadly hazards. Find the truth in the sequel to the award-winning story and continue the epic Star Wars saga. The Guardian says it's an intricately planned and crafted sequel, and Games Master describes it as the best bits of Star Wars rolled into one. May the Force be with you. That's Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 on the Xbox 360. Next up we have Dragon's Lair Trilogy for the PlayStation 4. I got this from Limited Run Games. This is a collection of interactive animated movie games. I was previously looking for the Wii port of this trilogy, but that didn't come out in Europe, so I'm glad Limited Run published a PS4 release. These are classic games, and it's great to get my hands on a physical copy. It includes Dragon's Lair, which is the gameplay you're seeing, along with Space Ace and Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp. And each of these has enhanced visuals akin to the arcade releases, and much better than the original console ports of these games. They also feature optional control prompts, as you can see on screen, and the option to start with extra lives, making the games a bit easier, but the timing is still brutal as ever, and the gameplay is still timelessly fun. That's Dragon's Lair Trilogy on the PlayStation 4. Next up we have Layers of Fear Masterpiece Edition for the PlayStation 4. Another great pickup from Limited Run Games. This is a first-person psychological horror game. The Masterpiece Edition includes both Layers of Fear and the Inheritance DLC in a single horror-filled package. Delve deep into the mind of an insane painter and discover the secret of his madness in Layers of Fear, and Inheritance expands the plot and tells the story of the painter's daughter who comes back to her childhood home to face her past. The game was heavily inspired by the PT demo of the cancelled game Silent Hills, and it's full of jump scares and puzzle solving, and the deeper into the story you get, the more bizarre and terrifying the narrative turns out to be. The game has multiple endings inspiring you to finish it in another playthrough, as the story plays out depending on your actions in-game and is different the next time around. I don't know about art, but I know what I like. That's Layers of Fear Masterpiece Edition on the PlayStation 4. And next up we have Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition for the PlayStation 4. This is a UK Collector's Edition sold exclusively at Game, which I did an unboxing video for, which you can check out on my channel. It features the Deluxe Edition DLC, a steelbook case, a soundtrack CD, a map, an art book, a pin badge, a set of replica precinct keys, and a huge 12-inch statue of Leon S. Kennedy. This is a survival horror game, and a remake of the original game. The game also recently received free DLC for Ghost Survivors, which is the gameplay you are seeing right now. And this game is great, shifting perspective from fixed camera angles of the original to over-the-shoulder action. Enter a city on the verge of collapse in this completely reimagined award-winning horror classic, where you can play individual campaigns as Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield and explore a stunningly rebuilt Raccoon City infested with terrifying zombies and a host of menacing monsters. That's Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition on the PlayStation 4. And finally we have Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Nintendo Switch. Another game which I did an unboxing video for, which you can check out on my channel. I got this from Game for around £20, a significant reduction from its initial retail release price. This is a space shooter game. I'm not a big fan of the toys to life aspect of this game, but I am a fan of space shooters, and I had to pick up the Switch version of this because it exclusively featured Fox McCloud. In fact, in the UK, around 82% of copies sold of this game were on the Nintendo Switch. Despite the graphical downgrade from the Xbox One and PS4 ports, the Switch version's selling point was the Star Fox characters, which is exactly why I picked it up. They are featured prominently in this version with their own cutscenes and story, allowing you to pilot the iconic R-Wing and fight alongside your allies to battle your nemesis Wolf. It's an interstellar spaceflight to the stars. That's Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Nintendo Switch. And there you have it, those are all of my video game pickups for February 2019. If you like the video, please leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. And if you'd like to, you can support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you for watching, I've been MVL, and I will see you next time.